Okay, welcome to our Coach Tip Tuesday. I'm going to share my screen here. I did the calendar, but I didn't send it out yet because I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. Where is it here? Let me go. Okay. Let me squeeze this back in here. Okay, can you see that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Okay, so basically, these are just your reminders over here. So we know obviously every Monday, 10 a.m. Central, we have the National Wake Up Call. This last week was really good. I still have to listen to last week's. I actually have that scheduled today in my calendar because I must have missed it last week. It was crazy. We still have the 645 commitment challenge through the end of the month. So remember, if they get the challenge pack or the completion pack full price, and they take their before picture and they take their after picture and they get through the 13 weeks and they get Shakeology or Performance Line consistently for those 13 weeks, they get $45 back on their challenge pack, which makes the challenge pack so freaking cheap. It's crazy. So
I have a question.
Yeah.
It says they have to participate in a bod group. Does it have to be a new one that is created, or they just have to participate in any bod group?
They just have to participate in any bod group. So it has to register that they got the invite to the bod group, and then then once they accept it and they're in, then they're in the bod group.
Okay. And what's the bod squad then?
Okay, so the bod squad is basically it's basically another way to help change and save some lives. So the goal is to either get 5 people on your bod squad or get 10 people on your bod squad. So it's really to try to help promote bod too. So for people that only still run stuff on Facebook, it's basically ways to promote new bod groups and then to invite people to your squad. So for every 5 people you add to your bod squad, you get the bobblehead. And then for every 10 people you add, you get that lap desk.
But that's new people since they started that? Okay, because I looked and I was like, oh, I have a lot of people. And the one they said I have one. Oops, sorry.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, well, maybe she is new. Maybe she didn't accept my invitation and now, but I was like, no, she's been my customer for a long time. So I don't know why. So that's probably why she just didn't accept.
Actually, that's interesting you said that, because I have a girl that's been with me a couple months, Melissa Robinson, and she only posted one time in our group, but she just accepted the invite not that long ago. So
yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if she'll be added. I'll have to look at the numbers the next email that comes out. But yeah, they just need to come and join the bod group. And like I said, it started in July and it goes to the end of August. Okay. So, for what we want to do and hit our goals and for what we're planning on doing for this month is really changing some lives. So we should all easily hit 5. No problem.
Okay.
That should be the goal. So we can all have a mall of bobblehead. That's everyone's dream. I'm not gonna lie though, I love free prizes. Like I love free prizes.
Oh my gosh, the last one I got for the Success Club was a t-shirt, a long sleeve t-shirt.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's so comfy, right?
It's so soft. I'm like, I can't wait to wear this. And Jose's like, are you kidding? I was like, no. Like the color, I like the fit, I like the material that it has. I was like, ooh, this is a good one.
It's so sweet. All of these little prizes, like yesterday evening, I was wearing my sweatshirt from last year. I love, love, love it.
And, the hat too. I wear a hat often too.
Yeah, I wear my hat all the time. And then we use our Theragun all the time, which is what you got for 12 months last year. And then I just hit the 6-month one. So keep going, because you get this like super cool backpack cooler that's like really nice and perfect for parks, beaches, especially as a teacher, you would be able to utilize that if you're doing field trips, stuff like that. But I mean, you could take your water bottle and your lunch in there. I mean, you could do all kinds of stuff. It's really sweet, really sweet. So yeah, so those free, like I love free prizes. Keep giving me free prizes. I'll take them. I'll take free stuff. Then every Monday morning is Brad Bizjack. Now this 3rd quarter, he's focusing on a lot of business and business strategy. So it was Monday. Yesterday, he talked about personal development, the difference between coaches and mentor. Like it's really good. So don't feel like you you've got to go back and re-listen to all the other stuff to get caught up. Like jump in, and I would just make sure like that would be something that if you're like, okay, I don't have an hour, like I love it because it's 7:30 in the morning, I can drink a cup of coffee, I can sit down and watch it. Now, once school starts, that takes me like right into getting kids off and stuff like that. So that makes it a little bit harder. I have it playing in the background, but then I like halfway through, I kind of lose track of like where we're at and what he's talking about. Cause I've got kids talking to me. I've got racing out the door, you know, stuff like that. So what I always do is just schedule little blocks of time throughout my week to go back and re-listen to it. So even if I only listen to like 20 minutes at a time, but he really talked about how it's one thing to listen, it's another thing to apply. So make sure that you get the workbook with it. I literally just downloaded it and uploaded it into my Staples account, and I sent it to Staples to be printed black and white on two-sided pages, and I got just a coil bound and a little cover, and it cost me like $17. And I love it because I can take that with me. I can take my notes from the call, and then he always has some sort of homework to do with it. So again, applied knowledge is power. So, you know, you can hear all of it, but if you don't do anything with it, you're not really learning anything. And he actually talked about that this last time. And it's that power behind doing the homework. So I feel like he's given us so much, and there's, you know, segments of every 9 or every 3 months, right? But this is going to be really good because this is going to focus on business. And I think it'll be really solid with what we're trying to promote for 30 Hard and for Mission 30. So listen to that, just find some time, a little bit. And he typically sticks to about an hour, but like last week he was like an hour and a half, but last week was fantastic. Like it was fantastic. It was just so good. So even if you can hop on for a little bit, sometimes just getting that little bit live gives you that little bit of energy and momentum. So that's on there. And then preferred customer date obviously is coming soon. We don't know the date on that precisely. So
okay, that was my other question. I'm like, when is this happening? Because now everybody's talking about it again. And I was like, I cannot find a date for the life of me.
Either. It's coming really soon though. And I scoured again this morning because I'm like, did I miss it? But
yeah, I did the same thing. I can't find it.
I know it's coming together really soon. So it sounds like, from what Mike understood, come Friday, our back office will show, it'll be so different because it will show you like, somehow she said there'll be a check mark, like PC coach. So how that will look, I don't know. And then our current people we have available they have the opportunity to either stay PC or stay coach. And they have the opportunity to do that by October. So they're going to be getting multiple emails from Beachbody to say, hey, this is happening, this is what's going to happen, this is your choice, or we will reclassify you for you.
Micah said after like 6 months?
Yes.
Right?
After every 6 months, they'll classify you, but they're going to do it come October.
Okay.
To your current people. But Micah has so many coaches.
Yeah.
That's a lot. So I'm actually going to reach out to all of my people and just say, hey, this is what's happening. Because to me, it's a great way to say, and this is what I wanted to kind of talk about. It's a great way to segment into, hey, do you want to stay in the VIP space that you're in? Because we've already been calling them VIP members, right? Do you want to stay in the VIP space you're in? There's no lack of perks. You're still going to get all the perks. You're still going to get all the emails, but all the information you get to coach, you wouldn't get anymore. Or do you want to take this opportunity to look at possibly running your business? Like, what would that be like? And so what I want to do is, and you'll see on our team calendar, we have multiple options this entire month that we can add them into a coach sneak peek. And we can do the same in September to say, hey, just come check it out. Come see what it's like. Come listen to us coaches live, or however we choose to do it. Because I want to do it in multiple ways. Come check it out and see if this might be something you like. And then if it's not, totally cool. We can keep you where you're at. We can keep you getting all the perks. We're just going to put you down as a preferred customer. But if you want to do it, then what we can do is we can get them started on the new coach mentorship, which Micah redid that checklist and stuff. I want to dig my fingers into it. I just haven't had a chance to do it. And I want us to lay out like a solid game plan as to how would that look, like a super detailed flow. Step 1, you do this. Step 2, they do this. Step 3, you do this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that way for anyone, not just any VIP members that want to become coaches, but anybody that joins in, this is the plan that you have to get started successfully.
So there's customer, there's preferred customer, and that's what we're calling VIP?
Yeah.
And then coach.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is so this is a great opportunity to invite Liz again, a great opportunity to invite Selena, you know, just check it out, see what we're like, right? And yeah. Yeah.
I think really good.
Yeah, for sure. So that information will be coming soon. And what was I gonna say? And then Micah did talk about too in that call about EPV, which is earned personal volume. I need to get a better handle on that. I got to re-listen to that call, but it's basically for people that do want to coach. They want to make sure that they are still helping someone. It's not tied to rank or anything like that, but it's just helping them to make sure that they're helping someone on some level. Doesn't necessarily mean they have to sell a challenge pack, but you know, some collagen or some Energize or something, that they're still working to earn personal volume to earn the full paycheck. And what I love about the PC part of it is that if you have a VIPer right now that goes to their, or even if you bring someone in and they're like, I just want the VIP membership, I have the PC, I don't want to be an actual coach. They are in your genealogy. So they're there, right? But what it will do is it'll allow them to, if they say like 3 months or 4 months down the road or a year or whatever, and they're like, okay, I want to coach. All of those initial first coaching perks, they still will be able to chance to get them. So success starters, earning your ticket to summit, your coach codes, they're going to be able to get all that to get started successfully. Where if they join as a VIP member, but they don't really want to help anybody or they can't imagine coaching anyone, right now they lose all those perks because that's the only way we have it in place. So this is going to allow them to get all of that when they decide that if they decide they want to coach. Right. So that's kind of why I want to reach out to all of our people, because they can almost like reset their clock. So we can move them to discount to VIP members or these PCs. And then if they ever come back and they're like, yeah, I want to coach, it kind of restarts their process.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. That's why and we just don't have a big enough downline.
Right.
That I say, why are we not reaching out to them? Plus it's a more personal touch. Hey, this is what you're getting. Because I'd be curious. I know Beachbody's sending out all these emails. Do they even know what it means? Are they reading them? Are they confused? You know, they're thinking, well, I'm not even a coach, because maybe they're like, I'm just a VIP. Maybe they don't even know. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's all that kind of stuff. So I think that would be good to kind of share that out. Okay. Oh, you know what I was going to do really quickly? Actually, let me see here. Diamond Insider. Actually, this might have it on here. I thought it might have had it on here. Oh, wait. Preferred customer program, August 6th. So that's Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, launches on August 6th. So let me add that to the calendar here. Ooh, it's kind of a full day. Really tiny there. Oh, I'm back. Okay. So we'll put that on there. PC starts there on the 6th. Okay. So what I did was obviously build our bod squad all year long. Yesterday we had second round of VIP 645ers. I'm having a hard time getting people in on 645, but I'm gonna still keep promoting it, still keep talking about it, because I really feel like talking about the functional training of it and mobility and some of the stuff he talks about, like I wouldn't hesitate to write down some of the things he's talking about and why we need it. And like, he'll explain like why this helps you with whatever, you know what I mean? And like yesterday we did, what was it? We did, I felt like it was like a leg day, right? Well, for me it was. He talked a ton, yeah, he talked a ton about how all this core work and you're not doing one crunch. And I was like, that's gold, because, you know, how often do you think when you think core, you're thinking sit-ups, crunches, like all that kind of stuff. And yesterday was just super solid. I was like, I mean, my core was shaking. So like sharing that kind of stuff on your stories, like when you're showing your workout videos, like why this was important, maybe why this was a favorite move, but, and really kind of hitting upon like with women with mobility and balance, like us as women, as we get older, we lose mobility, we lose balance. Like how many times do you hear like your parents like sit on the floor? They say, I can't sit on the floor, I'll never get back up. My mom and mother-in-law say that all the time. If I sit down, I will never be able to get back up. I don't want to be that way. And the reason is because our bodies just lose that mobility and that ability to function in the way it needs to. So, you know, being able to, you know, and I even might share that saying, you know, this is what my mom and my mother-in-law say. I don't want to be that way. I want to be able to get on the floor and play with my grandkids or with my current kids, or, you know, be able to crawl on the ground or whatever. That kind of stuff I think is super important. So listen to his cues that he's talking about, because I think that's a great way to kind of share about 645 and like what it is. Okay, so then I put 30-day hard challenge number 1 starts here. I think we can still promote it and have another challenge, like we can start more people in on Monday. If you listen to the National Wake Up Call, she talked about like, don't wait for your group to start every month. Like every Monday is a new start date. And so I know sometimes we look at it like, well, we're closing up, you know, the opportunity this month or whatever, but there's no reason why, even though we might be promoting September, but it's like the 16th of the month, that they're not going to be able to get in and get the full August, but they can get their feet rolling. They can get prepped, they can get their box in, they can sample stuff out, they can understand nutrition and be ready to go for the September start date. So always looking at, I have a new group of people starting Monday. So what we need to think about as a team is like, what kinds of things can we do? So that's why I want to get, like, I need to get some sort of new process going where I have an email sequence that goes out to all my new people, but I want to do is put it in a flow so that way it can be small messages. So if you don't want to set up an email sequence, you can be like, okay, their day 1 is this, I'm going to send them this, right? Because, or, you know, however you want to set it up, but there's certain things that we want to make sure that they know, like how to access BOD, how to get started in nutrition, all about our BOD group. You know, you want to invite them to that new challenger kickoff that first Saturday of the month. Or if they're in the middle of the month and they're getting started in a week or so, maybe you say, here's a replay, or you can get in on the next month's call. Because I feel like that new challenger kickoff is really good when you get a kind of a feel for how the groups run, right? It's a lot coming at people in the beginning, like, okay, so here's BOD and here's nutrition and let's pick a program and oh, we have a Facebook thread. And, people are like, well, what's the difference? And, and I just explained to them like the bod squad or the bod group is where you get some additional support, some additional resources to read every day. It's an easy check-in, check the box type thing. But if you want that extra like push, that drive, that support, that encouragement, that accountability, legit, our Rise Up thread is fire. I love our Rise Up thread. Yeah. And I know there's just a small core group of us, but I think next month I'm going to probably start pulling people out if they're not, I was going to do that for July, and then I was going to do it for August and I just never got to it. So with all the traveling I was doing, and at first, like I was telling Jeff, like I got really upset in July when I sent that message out and people started leaving the group. But then I was like, you know what? Like, I can show you where the water is. I can't make you drink it.
Yeah, I love, because it was the same. Like I was kind of beating myself up because I couldn't get some of the people, like I just kept trying, and they just wouldn't do anything. And like there were a couple of them that just made like excuse after excuse after, and like didn't even get started. They purchased the stuff, they said they really want to do it, and then nothing. And I tried and I was like, oh my gosh, what am I doing wrong? This is really bothering me. And then I think the very next day, Micah was like, had that exact message, like, you shouldn't feel bad. Yeah. It's not your responsibility. You can't do it for them.
Yeah.
And I was like, gosh, thank you for saying that. I feel so much better.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And because I feel like we probably waste so much energy on like, I don't understand why you won't do it. And there are times like poor Jeff will hear me complain because I'm like, they just complain about how they're feeling and they're talking to me about blah, 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 blah. But I'm so busy. I'm so tired. I'm so like, I totally get you, but you have to do, or they'll tell me, they're like, oh, your stuff doesn't work. Okay. It totally does, because I got plenty of people out there that have done it. You're not doing the work. And so like, it's the same way with coaches. Like we have a couple coaches that have been with me for a while and they like have just gone MIA. And I was just beating my head up against the wall, like, because they're like, well, I'm not seeing any success. I'm not seeing any. Okay, well, are you, talk to me about your power hour. Like, what are you doing? And then like crickets. And then they'll be like, well, last week I sent out 3 invites. Okay, great. But if you don't connect, if you don't expand, your invites don't, you know what I mean? They don't match. And so it's like, I'm going to run and walk with the walking, and I'm going to go with the work with the willing and work with the working. And if you don't want to do it, that's totally fine. I'm not going to stress out about it, whether you're a challenger or coach. When you're ready, you know where I'm at. I'm not going anywhere. So those of us that are wanting to make a difference in our health and wanting to make a difference in our lives and our income and our families, we're moving forward. If you want to hop on the train, it's going to come around, hop on. But if you don't, like I can't stress about it because I'm wasting too much energy on that. And like, I want to help you. I want you to be with me. But if you don't want to do, or you can't do the work, or you don't have time to do the work or whatever, I've been there. There are excuses. I can't do anything about that. Right. Yeah. Like there is mindset training in place to help you, and we will help you through that because we've all been there.
Right.
I was excuse queen for the longest time.
Same.
And now I'm drawing the line in the sand. I cannot stress about money anymore. Like that puts me in the worst headspace. I don't want to go back to work. I need to be here with my kids. I need to do this for them. I just went to dinner with some friends the other day that I hadn't seen in years. And they both looked at me after we had been talking and hanging for a while. And they're like, I've not seen you this happy in years. And like that hit me hard because I was like, how miserable did I appear in my last job? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like how much did it, and I knew it sucked the soul out of me, but like I needed the income. I, felt like I'm now going back and doing all of Brad's mindset work, I realized so much of that was on me. Like I allowed it to get to me and I wasn't in the right headspace. And so I needed the mindset work a long time ago. But now I've realized like I am drawing the line in the sand. Like I am going to start busting my butt. Like I'm going to do the uncomfortable things. Like if I think it's hard to get 10 invites out, I'm going to get 15. Like I am not going to be here in a year in the same spot, not figuring out why I can't move forward. Like I want to find women that literally are dynamic leaders that want to make waves in the world and the ecosystem around them. Like people need this. People need us. They need us to make a difference. And so
that's exactly how I feel. Oh gosh. Hold on, somebody's at my door.
Okay.
Looks like a little girl.
How are you, Alicia?
I'm doing better today.
Good. I've been thinking about you and keeping you in my prayers, friend.
Oh my God, this week has just been crazy. I've just been wake up and do it again. Just keep going until it gets better.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Have a great week, love. We'll see you soon, okay? Hello?
Hey.
Okay. Poor girl, bringing Georgie's shoes back because
Oh,
they left them over at her house. No, but I was thinking, that Mission 30, even after just the first one, I think is just so helpful. Like it gives me my mind a place to go. And sometimes that's my problem. Like my mind is over the place. And I was really having a hard time like figuring out like who I should be talking to.
Yeah.
And after yesterday's post, I was like, all right. Like even my hashtags where what's the dude's name? The Instagram
Brack Johnson.
When he talks about the hashtags, and I was like, no, I don't know what I'm supposed to put for these. After the Mission 30 post yesterday, I had like 18 hashtags, and I was like, I should just use these every time. Like,
so
and there was a lady who friended me just from hashtags, I could tell, and I think she had two sons. One played football. One either played basketball or soccer. I can't remember. And she was a second grade teacher. And just from her post, I was like, I think I would really like her.
Yeah.
My group, so I was like, it's like one, it gives me something to do. Like I know specifically what I'm supposed to do. There's no, should I do this? Should I do this? Should I do this? And it already has helped me just like focus. But after my post yesterday, I was thinking, all of these things that I have in my life, like seem to like take things away from me. Like I was just sucking everything out of me. And not that, like kids and my husband and my teaching job, like I love those things.
Yes.
But it's me giving everything I have to them. And that's the difference in this. Like I feel like I get something in return. Like it helps me too. It's not just me giving everything. It's like a cycle. Like I'm helping you and that helps me. And like, I feel better about
100%. And I think you need to when you get those feelings, whether it's from PD or after workout, like especially after workout, Micah and Julie even talked about this. I think that is one of the best times to do a post. You don't have to necessarily get it up, but like voice message yourself, type it up. When you are typing so fervently on your phone or whatever, and you got a ton of mistakes, you know that like it is just coming out of you, like something, you know what I mean? So always look at that high vibe state. And like, that is the time to be like, okay, I'm going all in, which is why they so often talk about like, throw on some music, like what's your favorite song, pump, dance around in your living room, like drink a little Energize and like be ready to go. Like I find it's best to do a power hour or my invites minimum and a post after I work out because I am just like pumped up. Same way with Brad's calls, like Monday mornings, like go time. Like I can feel that energy. And when you put that energy that you have in that post or whatever, people can feel that. Like that's like gravity, right? Like you're just like, ooh, I want a part of that. And so I think like there's a couple of things that you talked about that I think are super solid. So I follow Brock. He's amazing. Brock talks about posting. He's kind of talking about like posting old school, like we used to post 2 to 3 times a day, to doing that. And so I've been doing a little bit of like 2 to 3 times and then a reel every day. And I know that seems like a lot, but if you batch create your reels, like especially once the school year starts, Jill, to do it on the weekends, and you know what I mean? Like batch create, like take an hour of your weekend, just say, okay, these are what I'm going to do, but you have to do a little prep beforehand. And you know, whatever day of the week you do that, maybe it's the day you wash your hair. That's what I always have to think about. When do I wash my hair? But I'll do it on a day, like, especially when the kids go to school, I like to do it Friday because I got the Good Friday feels. I have a plan in place of the ones I'm going to make, and I know I have an hour to do it. If I'm trying to find the ones I'm going to make in that batch creation, that hour goes to pot. Like it takes me the hour to find them. The next thing you know, I'm trying to figure out how to do them. And so like I literally set a timer for 10, 15 minutes every day, and I'll just watch reels, double click the ones I like, save the ones I like, save the audio. And I start my mind reeling, and I'll start thinking like, okay, these are the ones I want to create, and I'll save them and I'll like them. And when you start liking the messages that you like, the songs or whatever, and you start liking certain kind, more of those will pop up in your feed. So the more you do that little bit of study time, the more you're creating your reel feed to be what you want it to be, and the easier it will be to find ones that are your way. The other thing to look for when you're looking at reels is like, if you are like in a 10, 15 minute span and you keep hearing the same song, that song is going viral, and reels, IG's gonna push yours more if you use that. So the one that I did where you do the clap and then you go up and down, like I saw that all the time, right? And so that reel did pretty well. But a couple of the other ones I literally just did like, and I knew that for my anniversary and the one for Maddie, that was not going to be a super high watched one. But I did those for me, right? And for my people. But like those it's so funny because those are like 300, 400. But I have one that I did from when I got back from Florida where like I come outside and I'm singing, and then like the neighbor like yells at me. Every time I post a new reel, that reel gets like 600 likes. So like every time you post something, they're coming back to your feed, right?
I have that same song, and mine does the same thing for that one. It gets like, anytime I post something else, that exact one gets like 200 to 300 more views.
It's crazy. So the more you do it, the more Instagram's going to push out for you. So when I say your posts, don't stress out about that, because this is what I do. I will do quotes where I will use the app Instagram repost, and I'll repost a big quote that, is out there that I saw that I love, that's got a good message. Videos, Instagram is going a lot to videos. So that's why reels is going to be really important, where before you could do like a carousel or a single picture, those just don't do as well. So any sort of videos, which is so crazy because Instagram was supposed to be a picture platform. Now they're basically saying we're only going to videos. So that's why it's going to be, I want to do these Coach Snoop groups that we do. I want them to be live Instagram, live Instagram IGTVs that we can create into IGTVs, because the videos are going to be pushed out more. So you could do one on your morning routine. You could do one on your evening routine. You could do one on, like how are you getting your son ready for football, right? You talked about your water jugs, like how important it is to hydrate, and how you're seeing these little things, little tips like that. People are going to want to see, right? Like, what are some of your favorite grocery haul items? How do you cook? Like how do you, and it doesn't have to be your whole meal prep, but you're like, I want to show you one quick way that I cook my broccoli so that it's ready for the week, right? So this is a quick, easy go. Or I want to show you, whatever you want to do. I want to show you my quick go-to breakfast that I drink every morning, right? Or one thing that makes a difference that I want to tell you, whether you put it in like a superfood shake like I do, or in your own smoothie, but add spinach. Can't taste it, like just add a little bit, like, you know, anything. It doesn't have to be long. It can be short. And then the other thing about hashtags that I did, and Brock talks about this in the Instagram Club Hub, which I'm a part of, but he talks about having small different niches of hashtags. So when I'm doing my reels research and I find other coaches, I like to look at their hashtags because I like to see like what other ones are they using that aren't overpopulated that maybe I can add. So I might add 1 or 2 from them. I might add 1 or 2 from another. And I started creating these hashtags in my notes. So like I started to do a lot. And like, this is like, Alicia, like your Gritspirations mindset ones would be really solid for those, right? Anything that we do where we talk about mindset or your personal development or how important your mind is, because I think that's something that we've all learned is so important. And I talk about that all the time when I talk about what our groups entail. Like, yes, we have fitness and movement. Yes, we have nutrition. Everybody does. But here's what puts us head and tails above anybody else is that we focus 100% on mindset. Coaching. So like, and I don't know what happened to these, but literally these disappeared. And I'm pretty sure that I copied and maybe cut them and didn't copy and paste them. So I got to go back and make them. But I had a bunch of not just coaching ones, but Christian coaching ones, right? Because I decided that I went through a phase. So like I can cuss like a sailor, but I love me some Jesus. I know that. But I had to make a decision in my business. Do I want to be the coach that cusses, or do I want to be one that tries to send the message and spread the word of the Lord? And I realized that that is more the woman that I am than the woman who cusses, right? Like I used to probably cuss way worse. Now I don't as much. Probably do a little bit more with Jeff just because that's kind of our comfort zone. But I have no problem like spreading the word. So I want to do more of that. So I try to do more, and especially in my shareables, I'll do those kinds of things. I'm a huge Disney fanatic. And so I really capitalized on my Disney hashtags this last time. I just got to figure out how to keep some sort of Disney magic alive in my family, even though we don't go all the time and I don't live by them, right? Like I might look at Disney reels and like, think of things like that, or use some of their songs or things like that. I'm a huge, I love coffee. I don't need it unless I'm like really struggling in my sleep, but I love coffee. So I've got some coffee ones. I've got a bunch of
my coffee pot, the basket, and mine has a reusable filter.
Yeah.
When we came back from vacation after that month, it was completely moldy. I had to throw it away. So I've not had a working coffee pot in like a week.
Yeah.
Really not good. I literally went to 7-Eleven, which is like a
coffee. Yeah. It's crazy.
I was like,
yeah.
Oh.
I know. I'm kind of the same way. Like I love a good cup of coffee, but like finding coffee reels, like that's going to bring people that are also coffee lovers to you, right? That's obviously not going to be your main niche, but those are going to bring people that love coffee your direction. And now they're going to start scrolling through your stuff, right? Because they understand where you're at. So looking for like the coffee reels and stuff like that. I've got these believers. I've got mom life. Actually, I need to adjust my mom life ones because some of these in here aren't working really well. And I got to figure out what it is. So I may just scrap this one and start over. I have some on fitness, water, eating, because I realized that there's a few things, especially after reading Alana's book, like I had, I'm the anti-diet, I'm body image movement, I'm an eating disorder recovery addict, right? Like I beat that, right? Because I've done all of them. So, I like to do some of those basic coaching. And then I did have some on Target shopping. And one thing I'm going to show you guys is this website. I love to go here when I'm trying to find and dial in more of my niche. Go and Google search display purposes. It's an Instagram hashtag generator. And so what you can do is when you pull this up, you just put up here, let's just say mom life. right?
What's it
We're gonna-
called?
Display purposes. It's displaypurposes.com. So you can put a hashtag in there and it's going to show you all of the top hashtags and that. So what I do then is I'll pull up my Instagram and I'll just say like, okay, I'm going to put in Unite in Motherhood. And that might come back and say like, it's got, I don't know, let's just say it has like 1.1 million. I'm sure that one probably doesn't. Then I'm not going to use that, right? So Brock talks about like 500,000 and under, over 10,000, right? So you want to have a combo mixture of small, a smaller follow up to bigger follows, because the higher up you get, the more your reel is just gonna, or your post is gonna get lost, right? So if people are starting to look up things by hashtags. So these are great ways to kind of be like, okay, how can I dial in this a little bit more, right? So like for an example, in this instance, like it says mom life. So I'm not going to use mom life, but if I put in mom life, maybe Laura is going to use mom life because that's more of a UK type term, right? You know, those kinds of things like toddler life. That's not going to be me, right? Mine's going to be probably more teen life, right? So those are kinds of things you can kind of use and kind of find a little bit more. And then just if you create like a small hashtag amount, even if you had like 10 to 20 hashtags in each of your small niches that you have, and let it build up. You don't have to take a ton of time to do it. It makes it so easy because after you put your post up, then I'll just grab 7 or 8 of them in any given order and I'll throw them up there, right? So it's not the same hashtags, because what Instagram will do is it'll say like, okay, Jill, you're putting up the same 8 hashtags every single post. It's not, you're not dialing into the niche. And it will also say like, okay, you've got coffee hashtags, but you're talking about coaching. Like they don't correlate. So it'll say like, that doesn't mix, right? You're just being more of a generalist. You're not really talking about this. Does that make sense? Okay. So I try to do a combination of things where I can share different things, you know, take pictures of the kids doing certain things and use that for a post later, things like that. So, you know, I wouldn't necessarily be worried about posting 2 to 3 times a day, but when you can, try to post more. And that's why I love shareable content, because like if you find posts, I like to save them in a collection called shareable, and then I'll just repost those because those are easy and quick to repost. You know what I mean? Okay. All right, going back to the calendar. Okay, so we've got those 2 things. We got Coach Tip Tuesday, every Tuesday, 9 a.m. And then down here below, that 6:45 commitment ends on the 31st. Oh, I meant to tell you too, we'll just start promoting. Oops, this is not right. Oh. Okay. So we'll promote Coach Snoop. We could probably promote Coach Snoop group here too, actually. And we'll do it on the same on the 22nd, as well as starting to talk about September group and the week of the 29th as well. The 11th, mark your calendars. That's our team call at 7 p.m. This month, we're going to talk a little bit more just about, I've got to figure out, there's just a couple of the things I want to kind of go through. I thought we would really kind of talk about the new coach setup so that we know and have a good plan for new coaches setting up so we know exactly what to do. And then next month, what I'd love to do is start opening it up to inviting people to talk on our team calls. So if you guys know of anybody that has a good, you know, topic that you want to talk about, like mindset and or other coaches that you're like, I really like this person, like let's invite them to talk on our team call. I'm all up for that. Or if you feel like you're empowered by somebody else on our team inspiration, you know, let's invite them to talk on our team call. I think that would be great. And then we can always open it up to the entire team inspiration and get more people on. Thursdays are the days that we'll work on coach sneak peeks and Snoop groups. So this week, me and Jill are going to go live. I'd love to go live, and I'd really like it to not just be like the typical here's what we do, here's how we do it, here's how you sign up. I would really love to hear and talk about like what was maybe, and I think Jill, for yours this week, I think we should go back and redo the one that we did before where we kind of talked about the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think like talking about like what are some of the biggest obstacles, like what is something that stopped you from doing it before, or what is something you've learned from coaching, or what has changed your life, things like that. And like we can do it. I would love to do it with you, Alicia. I'd love to do it with Carla, so that we can kind of, you know, and then we can invite people to hear it. And how awesome would it be? And you guys can interview me too, to save those on your IGTVs. One, that's a post. You can always pull from that and repurpose it. But 3, like you could create an IGTV channel that talks about all these different amazing people, right? On why, you know, why they're doing what they're doing or what coaching has done. So if you think of any topics that you want to talk about, like how it's changed the life for your family, or how it's changed your mindset, or anything like that. Like there's so many things we can talk about, and we don't have to go every week, every month, right? I just want us to really start pushing to hit our team goals for the end of this year. So when you think about going elite, you want to think about like the beginning of the year, you need about 30 coaches. And so for the year, right, to go elite, that's about what it takes to go elite, and helping them see success and stuff like that. So I want us to kind of get in that mind frame of like doing one Coach Snoop group a month is great, but it's probably not going to get us the numbers we want to get you to diamond, to get you to 1 star, or to get you to 2 star, right? So I want us to kind of go a little long. So maybe in September we might do 3 instead of 4, right? But like, let's just kind of get in it. Like I said, they don't have to be long. They can be rapid fire. They could be like a quick 15-minute IGTV, anything like that. Perfect. And then we can always invite them to the main one with Micah on Thursday. That kind of talks a little bit more, although hers are more like, now she's going story. Here's what you get as a coach, and the mindset, and then like easy ways to set up. Okay, then Friday. Body Live starts on Friday. I would make sure I'm going to add something to my stories today. I'm going to talk about body on there. You can invite people to check out 30 Days of Nutrition Plus for free. If they sign up by Thursday the 5th, they get 30 days of body for free. So what I want to kind of talk about is promoting that I'm doing a class, and I'd love to open it up to anybody who wants to try it out, these live interactive classes on Friday. I got to look at the time on what it is, but I thought how cool would it be if we got on a Zoom and did it together. Preferred customer starts on Friday the 6th, and then we'll start our 30-day hard live topics. So Jill's going to talk this week about PM routines. Carla's going to go next week about meal planning and prepping. Alicia, you are welcome to take one of these topics or change one of the topics. I just threw in 2 topics that I thought would be really good. I put morning routines and then favorite grocery haul.
I was going to say morning routine.
You want to do that one? You got it. So, excuse me. So my thought on that is you can do, I think it's going to be hard to get people on a Zoom call, but you can do you can go live in the BOD group. And if you know what time it is, we can push it out on Thursday to say, hey, Jill's going to go live in the BOD group on Friday, and this is what she's going to be talking about. And it's just another way to promote the BOD group and get more people towards the BOD group, right? I think it would be awesome if we could do a Zoom where people got in and asked questions, but I've just found like, I don't necessarily know if our crew is that type of a crew. I've tried to do live stuff so many times and I'll finish them, but it's really hard when you're talking to yourself or just a few people that already know what you're talking about, right? Because how many of them will go back and re-listen to the recording, right? I don't know if they will, but they might go in the BOD group and watch the live interaction. Yeah. And then whatever time you decide you get on, Jill, I can be on and at least be listening and like sending hearts and stuff like that. Like that would be good. And then we can post through in the Rise Up thread. Like I would say, hey, don't forget, I'm going live in about 10 minutes in the BOD group. Make sure you got your notifications on or whatever. And then you know, when you go live, I can be like, Jill's live, hop in with us. You know what I mean? Things like that. But one thing I've learned from experienced coaches is I'm not going to worry about when it's best for them. It needs to be when it's best for you. When do you have time to do it? When do you have time to focus? And when can you know what I mean? Because that's when you're going to be on your A game, right? If we focus on when they're available, it doesn't work. You're fine, Jill. Then we have our new challenger kickoff on Saturday. That's at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. So if you have anyone new, you can add them on there. Or if they're kind of like lost, a lot of times I'll tell people, like, if they're lost, they don't know where to start again, you can hop them on there. And then I put on Saturdays prepping for next week. Spend a little bit of time on Saturdays, making sure your calendar is ready to go. Now you can do it on Sunday too, but on 30 Day Hard, I was kind of encouraging you guys to use Sunday as like I'm off my phone. I'm spending time with my family, 100% focused on them. I really highly encourage that because that will help you to go solid Monday through Saturday, right? And Saturday doesn't necessarily have to be an all day type thing. Like when I'm on my game, I like to get up early on Saturday, get my workout done, and I do sleep in a little bit, but I get my morning routine and my workout done. And I spend about an hour getting my calendar prepped and ready to go. I make sure that I have a good game plan for the week. And then like, I might follow up on messages that I need to follow up on. But, you know, to be able to just get your work done, like if you want on Saturdays in August, we can do an early work session. So we just work together and bust through it. I'd be happy to do that too, if that helps as well. But taking that time on Saturday, I probably spend more time on Saturday because I make sure that I get like the email out, the weekly email out for our challengers and stuff like that. Meal plan is up in place and stuff like that. But I just like to make sure that Sunday, if I don't get to anything, my kids are older, so they don't always want to hang out with me, if I'm being quite honest. So sometimes I can find time to pull away, and Jeff likes to take an afternoon nap or he's out mowing. I'll sit down and get stuff done. But I really want to encourage you guys to take the time to rest because we need to be able to pull away from our business. That's going to make you refreshed and ready to go Monday morning. Any questions about the calendar? Okay. Any questions about body or preferred customer that we didn't go over?
I will just have to watch the first half and then
Totally.
and then see
totally.
if I have questions. Okay.
Yeah, totally. Once we upload it, let me know. And like I said, I just post, or I talked about, or maybe I didn't say it. I posted in the message thread, hey, you can still get in body. Like, don't, so don't hesitate to add that to your stories. Talk about it. Talk about how, it's going to be perfect for people who don't necessarily want to follow a program that's going to have access to it to be able to see what it's like. And then before you know it, like in that, we'll be able to get the spin classes and we're going to get more information on those bikes in September.
So it's pretty much $20 a month, like 19 something or 160 something extra for the live sessions.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as a discount or a preferred customer or a VIP member or coach, it's $14.95 a month or whatever that comes out to be up ahead. But like, it's more than just live workout classes. Like they're going to do live nutrition, like a live nutrition shows. Like I know that they're going to run with this, right? So this is just the beginning. But you also have access to that membership where you're going to have all those early, like I wouldn't be surprised if they put all the interviews and stuff like that on that platform and all the early access to the recipes and stuff like that. That's all going to be, that's what you get right now with Nutrition Plus. So that naming will go away and it will be body.
So there will be no Nutrition Plus. It'll be body.
Right. Yeah. So I think like your question of like, what do they get with Nutrition Plus is valid, right? If you're not really into it or if you've never known, like it's hard to describe if you're not into nutrition like we are. That's kind of hard for people to buy in on because that's typically where people's sticking point is. But like this is huge. you know, this is huge.
Okay.
So, okay. Okay, I will upload this and I will, let me stop share here. Stop share. Oops, there we go. Stop share. I'll stop recording.